This video is sponsored by OneFootball. OneFootball's app makes it easy to keep up to date with transfer news, scores and stats all in the one place. To download the OneFootball app, click the link in the description. The app is free. To watch more of this video, get over and join us on Patreon. But City, for me, are by far the best side. So it's going to be a massive ask for us. But the flip side is they are missing up to, Guardiola reckons, up to half a dozen players for the weekend. Whether that makes much difference, I don't know. But they're going to be missing players. People like Kevin De Bruyne, who is obviously a fabulous footballer, is missing.
Yeah.
And the last time we played them, him and Fernandinho were absolutely marvellous at Goodison. So that's obviously a big positive for us. But, you know, it's still a big ask.
Yeah, I mean, and we know they got beat last week, so obviously who's going to face the backlash? Yay, us.
It was mad last week, wasn't it? Because the first half they tried to walk the ball in the net. If they'd have just been a bit more ruthless, they could have been 2 or 3 up before Chelsea scored. Once Chelsea scored, I thought they were brilliant.
This is the thing about Man City, though. I know they're brilliant and they do play brilliant football, but I do think that could hurt them long term. And when I say long term, I mean title race. Because when I've watched them, there's been a lot of games where they do that. And yeah, normally it all works out well. But we're looking at a Premier League where it's going to come down to maybe 2 or 3 games.
But don't you think Liverpool do that as well? Like against us, we could have been.
I don't want to give them any. They just don't. But they don't concede.
No, but they don't concede not because you don't get chances against them, because people
don't concede.
People haven't taken.
No, but in reference,
I just think the way then kind of teams play like Liverpool and City.
But I do think that
us, you give.
I do think that majority of the time City are going to beat you comfortably. But I do think that just leaves them open.
Yeah.
That if you can take your chances against them, it's not out of the. Out of the realm that we could possibly beat them. I'm not saying we will, and we'd have to be a lot more clinical than we have. I just mean that I do find that because they are a team that just likes to try and walk the ball in,
you get a chance.
That you get a chance.
And obviously we're recording this before the last Champions League game as well, and who knows, they may, pick up.
But they're already qualified, haven't they? So
yeah, but he still said he's gonna.
But they're gonna rest loads.
Well, they're gonna try to, but it's because he's got 6 out.
I mean, the thing about it is, I do think they're gonna look to bounce back. I think, Guardiola's gonna try and. I'm sure that's the next thing he's going to instill in them. I'd seen it against Watford when they were playing Watford and they were 2-0 up. They were absolutely cruising, and then Watford got a goal and they looked rocky towards the end. He was very angry with that, saying, that should have been a game we got sewn up. And I do find that the Man City players, it must be such an enjoyable team to play in, that sometimes they do forget that the game is there just to be won.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how you play all that great football, but get the game won almost, and then start dicking about if you want to. And
Arsenal used to do this when they were at the pomp, and then coming out of it, they still was too many passes, and they'd leave chances.
I've seen us do it a few times. I've seen us do it under Martinez when we'd be 1-0 up and think it was all sound. And I remember going to the first game of the season in his second season when we went to Leicester and we were 2-1 up and everyone was just like, yeah, and then they scored and it was like, did you forget that we were only win?
Maybe done it the other night.
Yeah.
We were 1-0 up in that first half and it was almost like, the way that didn't come off then, that little flick when really I should have just shot.